Greet you all students of third year. This is paper first, Merchant of Venice. And in the last turn, when we summed up Act 1, you must have comprehended the fabric of Shakespearean famous romantic comedy and the characters. You must have also enjoyed the plot construction and the beautiful interweaving of main plot and subplot, Bond story and casket story. Now, before delving deep to other important acts, mind you, students, that Shakespearean remarkable theatrical skills, they are also very important, and he has used some theatrical devices. And see, the designing of theater and the fabrics of this drama, in which we have already discussed, like characters, dialogue, themes, scenes, famous maxims, worldly wisdoms. But beside that, what is important? Yes, Shakespearean use of theatrical devices. Now, what are these theatrical devices? See, we have soliloquy, aside, dramatic irony. Now, why it is necessary to study it? Now, the reason behind it, I would like to give you one example of, first of all, of aside. See, in Act 1, scene, yes, 1, when scene 3rd, when we summed up the point, Shylock in aside, what did he say? Have you noticed? And earlier he said good Antonio. Have you noticed this important point? Antonio is a good man. And then see, in aside, what did he say? I hate him for he's a Christian. So this hypocrisy in aside, now what is the meaning of this? See, aside, 3 important theatrical devices. Students, mind you, it is very important to comprehend this. Now, in aside, other characters, they are also present on the stage, and that character here, as he talks to himself and he shares the knowledge with audience, readers. But other characters, yes, they would not listen to it. So this is very nice theatrical device used by Shakespeare and in other dramas also. So the point is that what is the difference between, now another important device is soliloquy. Now the difference between the two, soliloquy and I mean, this is a very important question that may be put up in examination, and these 3 important theatrical devices, and we will discuss other also. Now in soliloquy, now what is first I would like to give you example of soliloquy. Say in Act 2nd, scene 2nd, first scene, act, this is it deals with casket story, in which we have Prince Morocco, who makes choice of right or wrong casket. So this is about casket story. But see, when we discuss soliloquy, that's why I'm giving you this example here in scene 2nd. It takes place in Venice and street. Another character, Lancelot, he is a clown, and we are introduced with this character for the first time. He is servant to Shylock, the villain of this drama, and he actually wants to leave his job, and we come to know about the character of Shylock, who is very cruel and inhumane. But this is his soliloquy. Now, what is the meaning of soliloquy? This is what I exactly want to highlight right now. Now, in soliloquy, as I have told you, the character, he is alone on the stage. Okay? And now, what is the purpose? There is, dramatic significance of soliloquy. When character alone on the stage, and it is also called thinking aloud. See, you can very well comprehend the idea when you make comparison with real life situation. What happened actually every day, not even if every day, I mean many times in your life, you also make use of it. Matter is different when we do not have audience sometimes, or say maybe whatever. For instance, when you talk to yourself in day to day life and you feel like speaking to oneself, yourself, and at that time you are real character. And real character, I mean what is going on in your mind, and you have ideologies, you have views, different ideas, opinion. And sometimes when say in the presence of others, you may be not very much comfortable in discussing those ideas, those feelings, innermost feelings, some kind of sometimes mental conflict going in your mind. And even when both positivity and negativity of this, different ideas you have. And so this in even in real life situation. And so is the case with this second literary device aside. See, if you meet someone and say you greet that person with full of warmth and all that, but sometimes you are very busy. Aside you would say, oh, yeah, I would have met that person another time. Or sometimes in positivity also, that when you happen to meet some celebrity and aside you say, oh, source of inspiration for me, I would like to be like that, I would also work hard. So you would say in aside, and also in theatrical device, obviously when drama, it is meant for a stage performance, and at that time audience is there, readers, so this is the difference between these dramatical theatrical devices and realization. But just for your better understanding, I have given this example. Now, what is the purpose of soliloquy? Try to understand, first of all. In this dramatic device, soliloquy, it is used for utterance of a character who is first alone on the stage. And say alone, and it implies that he or she speaks or talks to oneself, as I have discussed this point, and where other characters, they are not present on the stage. So it is called thinking aloud or talking to one's own self. Now, Shakespeare possesses remarkable dramatic skills, and his use of this dramatic device signifies the specific purpose. Now, what are these purposes? This is, I just want to highlight this. Now, it throws light on the real personality of character. Okay, real personality of character is really very important point. And when he or she is alone on the stage and he speaks to oneself, and the audience and readers, they come to know what kind of mindset the character has. Otherwise, in the presence of other characters, we may not have that much idea about the character. So this is the purpose, specific purpose of significance. Now in examination, you maybe put up this question: what is the significance of soliloquy? And Shakespeare, he is master of soliloquy, especially in tragedies. Even in comedies also, we have some soliloquy, famous soliloquies, and in tragedies also, as in Hamlet's famous soliloquy, to be or not to be, that is the question. So here another other purpose is that here audience and readers come to know what kind of mindset the character has, and what are his her views, what kind of ideals, motives, and sometimes exactly his state of mind. So this is representation of that also, reflection of this. And in the presence of other characters, sometimes he or she conceals the ideas and all that, and when he is left alone on the stage, what happens? Oh yes, he is absolutely free to express himself or herself. So we come to know about the mentality and attitude also. Then now this device, another important points is that keen applied for the purpose of exposition of some facts, also given information. And sometimes we have a better idea about the incidents and events. And yes, Another point is what happened off the stage. So for giving information also, this device, and psychological aspect of this also, it's a sort of an out. See, if you are expressing yourself, and you sometimes in different ideas, and you want to have some outlet of your emotions, maybe not comfortable in others present. So the psychological aspect of the perspective, and it's also important, sort of an outlet and expression for talking to yourself and your emotions, and which are subdued, yes, at subconscious level. So this is also, now the purpose is also to give importance to some or other characters. See, if you are alone on the stage, it means giving importance to the character, what is going on. So you can, have idea about these points. For instance, see, this is soliloquy, and here we have different real personality, we come to know about it, and the character, ideals and motives, okay, and express, and here it is sort of an expression and attitudes and all that. So these are certain points that you can write in examination, and it is also for your better understanding. Your concept must be clear about the soliloquy and the importance. There is dramatic importance of it. The device, it has also been used for some kind of exposition, and yeah, it is also for giving information, imparting information. And as I have just mentioned, for this purpose also, giving importance. So now, even in aside, now other important point, that in now what is the dramatic significance of aside. Now in examination, see, yes, there is one important question regarding this. Now, what is the difference between soliloquy and aside? Now, have you noticed what is the difference? Character is alone, but in aside, other characters, this is the basic difference. Students sometimes, they get confused about this, but this is very conspicuous, direct difference, straight difference, very clear difference between the two devices, these theatrical devices, dramatic devices in aside. And now the purpose, what is the purpose of it? When character, he or she says something secretly and silently, and it happens, as I have told you, in day-to-day life also, for your better idea about it. And you see, this is who can, now other characters cannot listen. Yes, this is the very, very important point, that other characters, they are present on the stage, but they would not listen to it. You say something secretly. So now, what is the important point here? The pertinent point is that whatever that character expresses through this literary device aside is absolutely inaudible to other characters. And so it is, his expression in a way, and he or she shares his or her knowledge with readers. Yes, audience. Readers, they have ample idea about it. Now the literary device, it is also necessary. Why? What is the reason of it? Why it is necessary? To reveal again the real or the actual mindset. As I have given you example, there are so many other examples. Shylock's hypocrisy. Outwardly he says, "Oh, good Antonio," but in aside, what did he say? Yes, clear-cut expression. He hates simply because of this Christianity. And this is one of the important themes in Merchant of Venice. See the enmity between the two. So and yes, just because he is very noble. Another reason is, this is not only the reason that he is Christian. Another important reason, that Antonio's reputation in Venice, he is a well-known, reputed person because of his noble ideas, because of his good conduct. And he, does not take that much interest also. He is a famous merchant, businessman, but he is very noble and generous person. He does not take interest. And this is, see, Shylock in this aside, through this aside, we come to know that he is jealous of that good person. He is simply because Shylock, expresses himself that it is because of, now what is the reason of malice? Nobility of Antonio. Very generous person, very nice person. And uncontroversial kind of, established virtues in Antonio. And we come to know, so this is the significance of aside here. So to reveal, now what is the purpose is to actual mindset of any character. Now it also, refers to real life situation as I given. You can express even in real life situation. See, if you just recall, what kind of aside? Yes. And have you said anything in aside? It's very interesting activity for you. If you think of that, oh, in aside I said this, and say outwardly this was my opinion, but in aside, yes, might be difference of opinion. So this is conspicuous again, the difference between the stage performance and real life. And we know very well that the difference between stage performance and the audience is there, but still, in real life also. And as theatrical devices, they are just meant for the effective emphatic presentations. And very interesting way of using device sometimes is, to create a humorous effect also. And many times it is used to denote some adverse opinion. Okay, and now there is some common aspect in both these literary devices, soliloquy and aside. What is in some similarity, and again we have differences also. That difference is most important, that in the soliloquy character is now here you can very well understand here aside important theatrical device, and it is whatever expressed by the character inaudible to us. And then we have very realistic situation also. Stage performance, these are certain important points that I have discussed earlier. Then some here device, very interesting way of, and the adverse opinion, I mean both positive and negative aspects regarding some related important characters. And now the difference, the basic difference, the other characters are present in aside, and in soliloquy character is alone on the stage. And I mean this is very popular device. And why, what is the reason behind it, that in aside whatever he expressed, we come to know about the character. And see, in character portrayal, it really plays vital role when you throw light on the characters. And therefore these two important literary devices, and we have example. And now another example I would like to here focus, as in act second I have just cited it. I just mentioned the point that Lancelot Gobbo actually. Now the significance of say soliloquy, I would like to highlight this point here. Say he, through this soliloquy, we come to know about his mindset, and we also come to know about Shylock's inhumanity. He's so cruel, devil, see, and is the devil himself. And it is, and see the a minor character, he's a clown. He talks about conscience. Students, mind you, I told you that Shakespearean dramas, they are treasure of worldly wisdom. So see, Shakespearean characters, even minor character, this much of knowledge he has, that each and every person in this world should have conscience. Now what is conscience? Your inner voice, whether it is right or wrong. So through this soliloquy, we come to know about the mental conflict which is going on in Lancelot Gobbo's mind. And see, we have, each and every student should go through it properly. My conscience says, and it is not only for the purpose of soliloquy only. So far as development of plot is concerned, this soliloquy is very important, because there is symbolical significance of this soliloquy. Every time in each and every human being, all of us, have cells, inner cells. So the person, he talks to himself, he or she, speaks sometimes in with inner self. Yes, you tend to talk to yourself, and you're conscious, oh, whether it is right or wrong, what important decisions shall I make in real life. And at the same time we come to know about the other characters. Then third important, we will discuss in much detail when we say switch over to act 2, as we have already discussed summed up act 1. And the best way of understanding or say comprehending dramas, I mean, we must have the students, mind you, we must have this kind of discussion, interactive sessions also regarding literary devices, important dialogues, and so that your concepts will be clear. Now, third important point is that dramatic irony. Now, dramatic irony, again, this is also literary device and very popular. What is the purpose of it? It's we have three kinds of dramatic ironies. We have verbal irony, and not in verbal and dramatic irony, irony of situation, it is also called irony of situation, and irony of fate also, it is called irony of fate. And then we have third is romantic irony. Now in this, the meaning of the speaker, it implies differs from what meaning he or she expresses. So this is the point is that he or she speaks at the time. Now take very nice example of this, when Bond story. See the concluding part of act 1, I would like to give you example. When Shylock, he signed the bond and sealed. At the time, some sadistic pleasure he has, malicious intention, malicious intention, yes, with whom Antonio and other good characters, Bassanio, like that. And that's why he wants to take revenge. But actually, it happens just opposite to that. So it is reversal of things, contradiction of expectations. And the character is not aware of that. Only audience, yes, audience and readers, they share with the author. So, these theatrical devices are very important, and from the point of view of examination, and also for your personal enrichment. We will continue the point. Thank you.